Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm sharing more Filipino weird or unusual habits that we usually do in the Philippines that other culture might find unusual. First one is shopping in smaller quantities. In the Philippines, we have what we call the tingi method, where the products or the groceries or whatever items you're trying to buy, they come in small packaging. There's a little packet of shampoo, little packet of conditioner, little packet of like coffee, ground coffee. They come in little packets and we call that tingi. If you've been to the Philippines, you've probably seen a lot of sari-sari store around. I feel like every corner, I feel like there's 3 sari-sari store in like one street. I know when I was in the Philippines, my dream is to have like a really nice sari-sari store, because it's just like you're just at home and people would just come and buy, and it's like an income that you don't need to leave the house. So I was like, I wanted to have a sari-sari store. The bigger the better, obviously, but like, you start small and then you grow yourself from like a little humble beginning, and then you grow it into like a big grocery store. But yeah, that was my dream when I was back in the Philippines. I was like, it would be nice to have a sari-sari store. So if you've been to the Philippines, you've seen a lot of these stores all around the city, all around the street. And they would sell smaller packets of whatever items that you can think of. Smaller item of sugar, smaller items of coffee, smaller items of vinegar. Like they would repack the vinegar and they would put it in like little packets. These sari-sari stores allows the buyer, the consumer, to actually like buy whatever they can afford at that particular moment. Obviously, not a lot can actually buy in bulk. We cannot buy like how other people do it in bulk. We don't have that money. We don't have like that moolah to buy in bulk. So we would go to sari-sari store and we would buy like, hey, I want to buy like a 5 peso worth of like, I don't know, coffee, or like a 5 peso worth of sugar. I don't know if they still do that though. But back when I was little, you could actually buy like a 10 peso worth of cooking oil. It's packed in little plastic bag or like a baggie. And it's like they would weigh it. Okay, this is like a 10 peso worth of cooking oil. It's just so like, it's nice to like think about this stuff. But yeah, you can actually buy food in smaller packets and in smaller packaging. I remember you can buy soy sauce in smaller packaging. You can buy cooking oil. You can buy bigas. You can buy rice in smaller packaging. Whatever you can think of that you can repack, you can buy it in a smaller packaging. And that's what we call in the Philippines the tingi system. Tingi, yung pakonti-konti lang. It's like a little small portion. For some people, they can kind of look at it as like a cost-efficient way of living. But like now that I'm actually here in the US, I can kind of like understand why like, the American way of like buying things in bulk and taking advantage of the sale prices as well. So it's like it's different culture. But I cannot do the tingi system here in America because first, groceries are far away. Walang sari-sari store. There's no sari-sari store here in the US. Hindi ka pwede magtayo dito ng sari-sari store nang hindi ka naman nagpapaalam sa gobyerno o sa barangay nila o sa county nila. You can't do that here. So I can't do the smaller portion. Plus, I feel like it's cheaper. You get a bang for your buck if you buy bulk. That's why my husband was always like, why you only buy 1 pack? Next time you buy 2 or 3. I was like, damn, you got all that money, bro. No, but when I shop back then, I would like shop, like I would get like little packets. And if you're married to a Filipina, you'll probably notice this. If you're living with like a Filipino or Filipina, you're probably going to notice this. We like to shop smaller because we don't have like, the money to buy bulk stuff. But now I'm realizing it's like, okay, I need to get back to the store. And the more you buy little stuff, the more often you go back to the store, the more you spend. That's like the logic that I'm thinking now. I was like, okay, I was just here 2 days ago and I'm spending another $30. So I'm not saving anything at all. In the Philippines, it might make sense, but here's America, it doesn't. So that's why people here, mga Amerikano, malalaki yung bulto-bulto yung binibili nila kasi nga mas nakakamura sila, kumbaga. Yeah, now I've learned like, when I watch like other American families, they would buy like 3, minimum of 3. Like if that's a cooking oil, a bottle of cooking oil, they would get 3 bottles of cooking oil. 2 is for stacking up, and then 1 is for the one they're using. So I'm starting to adopt that in every time I shop. If you guys been following for a while, you know that I would share my grocery hauls back in the day. And then I try to do 2 or 3, or I try to get 2 or 3 of the same items so I can put away the other 2 and use the other one. Next one is using tabo. If you're not familiar with what tabo is, it's basically like a big cup that has a handle and you can fill it with water. We use it for bathing. We would get the water and we would use it. And then for hygiene, we use it for hygiene. When we use the bathroom, we go number 1 or number 2. We would use the tabo system. We would get the water and then wash whatever needs to be washed down there. Number 2, number 1, whatever. When I moved here back in 2016, my husband's preparing the apartment for my arrival. He got everything that I needed. He got the soy sauce for chicken adobo. He got the rice cooker. And he also installed the bidet in the bathroom because he knows we need that, or I use that. So you can buy it at Amazon. The only thing with bidets though is like if you live in a climate where there's like 4 seasons, bidet spray cold water on a winter season. So be careful. So sometimes I end up like still getting like, I don't have tabo here, so I would get like a big cup that will just stay inside the bathroom. No one's gonna use the cup. It'll just stay inside the bathroom. So I would still like get a big cup and fill it with warm water and then use that, because bidets don't have hot and cold. It's only cold water. You cannot switch it to hot or lukewarm water. So it only has cold water. So imagine that in the winter season. You're trying to wash. Next thing you know, you can't feel nothing. It's numb down there. So yeah, I still end up sometimes using like a big cup, like a huge cup, fill it with warm water and use that instead. But bidets are very helpful. It's just makes you clean. It feels clean every time you use the bidet. I know in my family, sometimes they would use tabo to like as a disciplinary tool too. They would use tabo as a disciplinary tool. Tabo, hanger, belt, slippers, like whatever they can grab. The first thing they can grab is gonna be their weapon. But yeah, so we use tabo different ways. Third is eating with hands. So yeah, in some parts of the Philippines, eating with hands is very common instead of using the utensils. It's just deeply ingrained in the Filipino culture. And this habit may seem odd to other culture, but it's just the culture in the Philippines. We like to eat with our hands. Next is pagpag. So it literally translates to dust off or shake off a dirt or something on your shirt. It's a superstition in the Philippines that when you attend a funeral, you would not go straight home. You would go and hang out with your friends, maybe at a restaurant or somewhere, to kind of like confuse the spirit, I guess, so it won't follow you home. That's what this pagpag means. Because there's like, I feel like if you search the word pagpag on YouTube, you'll probably see the people trying to get food from the back of the restaurant. They use food and they would cook it. So that's the other pagpag that you're probably thinking of. And then there's this pagpag, which a superstition, meaning that after a funeral, you don't go straight home. You go and spend some time with the people that are with you in the funeral or whoever. You would go to a restaurant or like coffee shop and you would kind of like just chill there for a moment. You don't go straight home. So the soul or the spirit of someone, it doesn't necessarily mean the person that you just buried. The spirit from someone in that cemetery won't follow you home. Next is rice. Filipinos love to eat rice. We eat rice breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then we have rice snacks too. So we eat rice all day long. I remember when I visit my aunt in Europe and they don't eat rice. Like, how do y'all live without eating rice? Like, she would eat rice, but her family do not eat rice. They would live off of potatoes or like, I don't know, whatever. But in the Philippines, we eat rice all day. we have snacks. We have snacks that are made out of rice. And then I moved here. I was like, oh, okay, this actually kind of makes sense. Like, rice is not the only source of carbs, carbohydrates. It's just so weird because rice is staple. It's one of the staple food in the Philippines. We consume it 3 times a day. I thought back then that you cannot live without eating rice once a day. But I still eat rice here, but sometimes I would alternate it with potatoes, steamed potatoes, baked potatoes, air fried potatoes. Yeah, so Filipinos, we love to eat rice. Next is cold showers. We take cold showers in the Philippines because not a lot of households have hot water. My last visit there was back in 2020. And I was like afraid or embarrassed to ask, hey, can we install like hot water? Because you can buy it, install it in the shower. I did not do that. I just did cold shower and I caught a cold. I catch a cold. So if you're traveling to the Philippines, you need to make sure that the hotel you're staying or the family that you're staying, they need to have hot water. I did not tell them that I did not want them to think that I'm acting bougie or like I'm acting brand new. That's why I just like took cold showers. And then later on, a couple days later, I had cold. I was like, oh my God, I'm not doing this again. This is back in 2020. I think my body kind of like, got used to showering here with warm water. So yeah, we take cold water or cold showers in the Philippines all the time. So last but not the least is pinetensya or repentance. This usually happens in the Lenten season. This is a practice where Filipinos would actually try to recreate the crucifixion of Jesus. And before they do that, they actually like walk miles and miles. And then some would pray the rosary while walking. Some would get smashed in the back and like literally back with like, we call it palaspas. They would like make palaspas and sometimes it gets kind of bloody. Some would carry cross that's like really heavy. And imagine how heavy the cross, and they would walk miles and miles and they would visit churches or babasa. I don't know what babasa is in English. And this has been going on since I was a little kid. So I've seen this happen every Holy Week. But yeah, you would see them if you visit Philippines around this time. You would see them. They would like almost like a parade. Some would carry cross. Some would just be walking half naked. And then they would have like a whip and they whipping their back. And then it gets bloody. Yeah, that's one of the it's like a religious culture in the Philippines, being that it's a Catholic. Most of the people in the Philippines are Catholic, so it's one of those ritual that happens every Lenten season. Now, other culture might find this like unusual, odd, or some might see this triggering because there's literally blood everywhere. While some of these habits and rituals may seem odd and unusual, they are deeply ingrained in Filipino culture, and that's just what makes Philippines a vibrant and rich country to visit. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!